Hey everyone, I'm here. Sorry I'm late, but the light is very, very bad in here. I didn't realize until right before I went live. It's also when I was setting up, the sun's up and the sun is no longer up. And so I lost the outside light and this light is wackadoo, but we're gonna try to make it work. Hi, I am not at home, so I have a different setup tonight. If you're watching this for the first time to figure out mistakes not to make before moving abroad, because that's what we're talking about today, go ahead and fast forward for 10 minutes because I'm just gonna talk to my friends for a little while. Maybe 5. You'll know when we get on track. But hey, um, new setup. I'm gonna be looking into this camera, but looking at my computer. So ignore me while I do this. This light is really bothering me. I look a color other than brown. Um, hey, Kinsey, D. Walker, Aspen Sierra, K. Stewart, Venus Curvy, Chandra, Stephanie, Toisha, Shauna, Janine, Dara, Vanessa, Janine, Janae, oof, Sarah, so I'm tired, and my mommy. Hey y'all, hey friends. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm in Puerto Vallarta, and yeah, I'm in Puerto Vallarta. I'm at a resort that doesn't have overhead lighting, which normally I'm in overhead lighting. Like no one's really dying for it. But when you want to make a video in the evening, it helps. This lamp is on, but I think there's a short in the wire because it was flickering. Look at that shadow on the wall. What's happening in here? Yeah, it was on a minute ago. It was my light save. I was like, yes, I figured it out. And then I realized, no, that one I hadn't. Let me try it again. I'm a little out of it this evening. I don't know why. I think it's the beach. Wait, guess a little flashy flash. The light. This is the bedside lamp, which, as you can imagine, was not awesome at the bedside because yesterday I couldn't figure out whether I was doing something. Every time I get a little bit of hope, whether I couldn't figure out how to turn on the lamp or whether. Okay, y'all. This is what the lamp is giving us tonight. Stop it. All right, maybe that'll work. I know you guys do not care about the lighting, and I've been at it for a while, but it is what it is. It's better now, right? A little bit better. It's very bad. All right, hi. So no, the light bulb is not loose because I had to take off the lampshade to get this much lamp, and I screwed it back on tightly. So yeah, so I'm in Puerto Vallarta. I am chilling. We had a meetup yesterday. We had an Exodus. There was a Black History Month. I don't know why I had to think so deeply about that. There was a Black History Month meetup for the Puerto Vallartians. What do y'all call yourselves? Let me know. So they had a meetup, and at the tail end of that, a bunch of them from Exodus Summit, maybe 10 of us, got together well into the night. Y'all had me out past my bedtime, so now look at me. Now look at me. All right. And I'm putting her business in the streets. Miss Sandra was there. It was nice to see her. Some other people in the comments right now were there, but I don't know whether they want to be outed, so I'm not going to do that. All right, so today we are talking about, hold on one second. Okay. Cool. We're going to have a guest in a minute. But I can't type and talk at the same time. Okay, so today we're talking about mistakes you make when we move, and I wanted to have some guests so they can talk about their mistakes. I have made a few. I know everybody's made a few. If you've moved abroad and made mistakes, drop your mistakes in the comments. Drop them in the comments so we can talk about it. Um, yes, we had a ball, Sandra. We had a ball. Let me invite. Copy. Okay. Drinking Black History tequila. There was a Jamaican restaurant here, so I had rum punch yesterday, and like good rum punch made with Ray and nephew. She had a red stripe in the cabinet. It was a lovely event. Lovely, lovely event. Um, okay. The robe. Brought a little beach wear, and since I haven't worn it to the beach, I was like, let's just throw it on camera on top of a tank top because I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot to give today, y'all. But okay, so we're talking about moving abroad and changing your life so you move abroad. I think I want to move this video, the camera. Um, that's what we're doing. We're talking about moving abroad, the mistakes we've made. My first mistake is, someone said underestimating how much money to save. CRC5, did you make that mistake? We'd love to hear more about it if you did. Shauna was here. She says she's keeping the peace, but sis is an instigator. If you were at Exodus Summit, you probably already know that she's an instigator, and you know what I'm talking about. She's an instigator. Okay, so my first mistake, I would say, would have been signing a lease before I knew like enough about the city. When I first moved to Mexico City, my big mistake was I asked someone in a Facebook group, like I was looking for a place to stay, and they mentioned that their place had a room available. And so I was like, okay, why not? And I did it. And then after like a couple days, I signed a 6-month lease to stay there. I would have been better off looking around and finding a place that was more me, right? A place, because I don't like living with people, so a place for myself, a place on my own, a place I really like, not kind of a place I just fell into. I always tell people not to sign leases before like they've really done their research, and I didn't do it that time. But y'all know I also say, don't be like me, be better than me. Be better than me. I have made some mistakes. Okay, so what other mistakes do we have in the comments? Bum 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 bum. DeRaw's moving soon. Sandra says settling in a city too soon. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sandra, do you want to come on and talk about that experience? While we're talking about that, I'm going to bring on our first guest. Felicia, oh, you're muted.
Hello.
And I'm going to try to move my camera. Let's see if we can get better light going. Okay, you're here with sound now?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, wait. I need to turn.
Good. Wow,
Let's try that again.
Hi, everybody. Auntie Lou says, oh, we got guests. Oh, that's so cute. I'm very happy to be here, happy to be a part of this group. Thank you so much for responding to my mistake that we're going to, I'm going to share with you a little bit. Oh, I don't hear you. Okay. Nope, it still has the crossed out microphone on your end. Okay. Well, hello. Some people are saying, "Oh, Felicia, hair goals." Yeah, I got this is gray. It's all gray. Hi everybody. This is amazing. This group, I learned so much from all of you, and I'm a seasoned world traveler, and I still have so much to learn. And I just thank you so much.
That's muted.
I can hear you now.
I don't know how to do this. Unmute.
Hi, Diane. Good evening to everyone. Hey, brown girls, trade too. I know that's right. Yes, I need to know about trading. I'm going to follow you instantly.
Okay, let's test this. Felicia, thank you for being such a great host.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is great.
Okay, so it's working versus a mystery person over here. We had to put the sound on something else
It's all
to make
good.
this work. Okay. Hi. Thanks for
Hey,
being here.
thank you for asking me.
And thanks for holding it down. Auntie Lou wants to know if you're currently abroad.
I am not. I have repatriated from China, so I am based in my native Virginia for the moment. I am actually looking for wonderful positions in the Middle East as well as going back to Europe. So I have a couple of leads, so I will be out of here hopefully by the fall.
And what did you do when you moved abroad?
Um, I first moved abroad over 30 something years ago. So I've been living abroad, working abroad since I was 21 years old. I'm in my 50s now. And this is the first time in a long time that I've been home here in the States. But what initially got me abroad was teaching. And that was totally not planned. But somebody gave me a wonderful position to teach English in Paris. So I spent 8 years in Paris. Well, before that, it was 4 years in Sweden, 8 years in Paris, 4 years in Seoul, South Korea, and most recently, a year in China. I just made it out maybe a week or two before the pandemic. So
Okay.
I've been stuck here ever since, basically.
Okay. Okay. So walk us through what your big mistake was when you were moving abroad.
This is the big mistake that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about, and I'm going to talk about it tonight. Um, the big mistake that I made was staying beyond my expiration date in a certain city, and that was Paris. So I think every experience has an expiration date, and when you stay beyond that, you run into a lot of trouble. Now, I'm not talking about visas or anything like that. I abide by the law. So I think when it got to a point where I could no longer work at a certain company, but I had, built a really great life in Paris. Um, I said, I'm just going to try to make this work. So I did this job over here, and then I got this private tutoring client over there, and I was just sort of running around trying to um, maintain the life that I had built in this wonderful city. Paris is basically my second home because I feel so comfortable there. I speak the language, I'm fluent in French, I have French friends. But at that point, for some reason, everything became extremely hard, and it just felt like all the doors were sort of closing. And instead of accepting, okay, let's move on to something else, let's maybe go to another European country, or maybe go back home to sort of regroup and figure out something else, I stayed. And as a result, things began to be not fun anymore. Every day is not, you're not going to have fun every single day that you're abroad. So just, forget that. But it just felt that, whoa, Felicia, you need to go either home, back to the States to regroup, or you need to go somewhere else. But I had held on so tightly to this image that I had of myself being, so fabulous and successful in Paris. And I had that, but things shifted. So now it was time for a new dream to be born. And I did not accept that. So I got into trouble. I mean, it was just, not trouble, in terms of like, legalities or anything, but I think trouble emotionally. And because I had this fixed idea that you're supposed to be doing this and da 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 da, and everybody's looking at you and you're in Paris and blah, 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 blah. And I just stayed past my expiration date. And when you do that, you get into trouble. So once basically it was almost like I was kicking and screaming to get out of this city. I mean, Paris is amazing. But once I said, all right, you have to go, that's when things got easier. So, because it was just time for a new dream. Paris, I will always have. Now I go to Paris to gallivant and have fun, see friends, but I'm not trying to live in Paris anymore. I've done that. 8 years is more than enough, more than what most people in their entire life will ever get. And I had that. So I think I think out of all the places that I've been and lived and worked, that was my biggest mistake. And in that sense, it was also my biggest lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that was a big mistake for me. Staying past the due date.
What do you think you could have changed to have a better experience, or what was the sign that you should have seen that your expiration date was here?
When I no longer had that full time, it's called a contrat déterminé, contrat durée indéterminée, which is a CDI. And that's like when you get a CDI contract, a work contract, it's very hard to fire you. So
Mm-hmm.
I was working at it's not really a nonprofit, it's a NGO. And it was
Mm-hmm.
only supposed to be for a certain time. And they loved me, but they were just like, this is all the work that we have for you. We can't extend it because there are no positions. And I should have just said, well, you know what? Thank you so much for the opportunity. I gotta go. I didn't do that. And that was the first time. That was the first time because that particular ooh, uh-oh. Ooh, I'm gonna read some of the comments. Oh, somebody says, or people expect you to stay in a place, especially if you said you loved it. But I love the concept of a city has an expiration date. Yes, and this is from lack to legacy. That's right. People do expect you to stay in a place, even though you loved it. You don't that city should not define you. And I think that's a very good point because I think the city became more important to me than me in the city. It was like if I wasn't in Paris, what was I? Like what am I without Paris? And that's one of the other lessons that I learned from staying past my expiration date. The Paris doesn't make me, I make Paris. So that's it. This is a really good, yeah, letting go of that persona. Auntie Lou says, I get it. Yes. Oh yeah, I can teach French. When I'm here in the States, I teach French from time to time. But I'm no longer teaching in America. I can't do it. I'm older now. I can't teach in America. I can teach anywhere else, but not here. Yeah, so that was it. I don't know if that it's a long-winded answer, but that's what it is. You got to know. You have to know when to go. And I don't know, Roshida, if you know this Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. you have to know when to go. And once you get that sign, it's time for me to go, please go. Because if you don't, you're going to be in a world of trouble. But know that when you do have to sort of change your direction, that that's okay. That's also a part of your journey. You're not just going to move. Everybody in this wonderful group that you and Stephanie have created. Yes, I love listening to and reading all of the questions that you have and all of your hopes and dreams to go abroad, to work abroad, well, not work abroad, but to have ease abroad, a better life abroad. But know that that one place is not going to answer all of your questions, all of your hopes and dreams. Just know when to move on. It's very simple. Simple to me now, but it wasn't so simple then to accept that fact.
Is walking away from things something that you have, like, is that a bigger thing than this moment, or are you usually normally really good at saying like, oh no, this is it, this is my time, I'm done?
I think after 30 something years of living and working abroad, now I'm very good at it.
Okay.
Like even right now, I've been back um, going on, it's going 2.5 years, I believe. It's time to go. It's time to go. There are certain things that certain dreams and certain goals that I need to achieve. And for some reason, um, things are not, the doors are not opening as quickly as I need them to open. But as soon as I, put it out in the universe or contact people, around the world who want the skill set that I have, oh my God, Felicia, let me know what are you looking for? Yeah, we have this coming up, or can you do this, or you da 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 da. Then it's just like, okay, you know what? Wow, this is the time. And now I'm not trying to go back to China. Even though China was amazing, I'm not trying to go back there. I think I need to go there another time. But yeah, I just feel like, yeah, it's time to do something else. And I am, happily married here. We have a beautiful home, but there are certain things that I need to accomplish that seem to be available over there. So
Okay.
that's where I need to go. And my husband understands that. He knows I'm a go-getter. That's never going to change. He knows, the woman that he married, and he supports me fully. So
That's awesome. So
yeah.
when you move, if you move again, will your husband be going with you on this move, or are you looking to move, or do you guys take separate tracks?
Separate tracks. Like
Okay.
right now, I mean, he loves what he does. He's established in his career. He is, he's just like, no, I can't do that right now. But when I signed a 2-year contract for China, he was at the end of the 2 years. He was just like, all right, let's just, I'll take a year off and see what China, you and me in China, what can I do in China? He's great at what he does. He could definitely do that in China. So, but now it's just like, you know what? Let's, let's see each other maybe in the summer or when, whatever breaks, people do it all the time. I know plenty of couples who make it work, and they've been making it work for, over 20 something years. And either the wife works abroad or the husband works abroad, so we can do it as well.
Okay. Are there any other regrets you've had from your time abroad?
No,
No?
no. Because
Okay.
even when things, I mean, I started working and living abroad before the internet. Email
Mhm.
email was something very, very new. So, when I hear people complaining about, oh, this is taking so long, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Now you can email certain things to, for your visa and all this other stuff. You had to be in person in certain places.
Mhm.
But I think all of the stress and strife. I mean, France will take you through it. Anyone who is planning to move and work in France, get ready. Take your vitamins, exercise every day, because the stress that the bureaucracy that you're going to go through is on another level. But with that being said, it's the same kind of stress that um, immigrants, who are immigrating here to the US go through. So you're not going through anything new that someone else who's trying to live in this country is going through.
Hmm.
But no, I don't. I mean, it's been a wonderful, wonderful life. I wish it for all of you. Um, it's just been in me since, yeah, I left this country when I was 21. So I don't, I can't imagine not having the experiences that I've had. I've been very, very fortunate, and I don't have any regrets. Yeah, I've made plenty of mistakes, believe me, but I don't have any regrets about any of it because it just teaches you how similar we are all around the world. We may look different, um, and I've too have experienced, being nervous because I'm like, oh, I'm the only Black person in this office, or I'm the only Black person on this plane, or whatever. Don't even worry about that. I think I've been more embraced, just being an American in a lot of places than anything else. So
Okay.
yeah, just go. I mean, you have to. If you don't do anything but live somewhere for 3 months out of your life outside of the United States, please go. It will change you. It really, really will.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us today, Felicia. Sorry about the tech issues.
No,
This has
no,
been
no, no. This is great. This is thank you for asking me to be on this platform with all of you wonderful women. This is just amazing what you've created, and much continued success
great.
to you, Stephanie, and everybody in this group.
Thank you. Okay, so Felicia is part of our Exodus Summit squad. She's in the group. Felicia, do you have anything to plug?
No. I mean, check me out. I'm doing thanks to Stephanie Perry. I know about house sitting, and my husband. We house sit when we're not super busy with work. Check my YouTube channel out, In My Travels. Just go In My Travels 2020. I believe it's on YouTube. So I've loaded up some videos on YouTube talking about my experience as a house sitter. And thanks to Stephanie, we are booked to go to London for 2 weeks to house sit in this beautiful, beautiful home in London. So yeah, that's another way to travel. So that's something that I learned on this wonderful group, and it's just amazing. So check out my channel, please go there. If I give you content, if I give you value, please subscribe. That's it.
Okay. Uh, Thank you so much for being with us here today, Felicia. I appreciate you being a co-host
Thank
and
you.
keeping it together when I was losing it.
Right.
And yeah, until next time, I'll see you in the group.
Definitely. Bye.
Bye, Felicia. Everybody else, I'll still be here. Let's go through these comments. Okay. Felicia kind of answered all the questions that you guys already had for her. Thank you so much for giving us your time, Felicia. Let me see if I can lose. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen if I take myself out, but let me try this real quick. Hopefully it works. Can you hear me now? How about now? Why is it doing this? How's this? How about now? What's the sound doing now? I will go to sleep before I keep doing this. Okay, no echo or no, there is an echo. We're good? Okay. All right. Well, I don't know why this is what's happening today. But let's start from the top. Hi, my name is Roshida Dowe, and I run a YouTube channel or chaos. I don't really know. If you're new here, not every video goes like this. Like usually there are like a tech issue or two, but not like this. Thanks for your patience. Everyone who's with me, you guys know. I also don't normally like I don't go live in the evenings because of this. Because at the end of the day, I don't know. I can't troubleshoot this. What's going on? I don't know. My brain has done braining. It's done for the day. Early mornings, I'm like, yes, let me figure this out. In the evening, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, we're making it work. We're making it work, I guess. Okay, someone said it's repeating now. Okay, we're back. We have sound. In the comments, please tell me what mistakes you've made while abroad. I need some support in this moment. In this moment, tell me what mistakes have you made? Who's here who has moved abroad? Uh, D, I wanted you to be a special guest as well, but you didn't respond to my comment the last time I checked. Let me go back and see if she responded to my comment, y'all. She didn't respond to my comment. D, why don't you want to get on the internet with me? Mom said renting sight unseen. She's going to be on Stephanie's channel one day to talk about that. You guys probably remember Stephanie telling me a story about how she asked my mom to be on her channel. My mom was like, no. How are you doing? Woo! Okay. Okay. Janine accidentally bought an unlocked phone but didn't work in multiple countries and had to buy a new one. Yikes. Yikes. Big yikes. We were just at the Exodus Summit meetup in Puerto Vallarta yesterday. We were talking about how the unofficial meetup. We were talking about how we use phones overseas because it's getting to be so tricky now because everybody's turning their customers off if they're out of the US for a long time or a few months. And we were talking about making phone, like how what you have to do to make the phones work, and how like even when you think you have the perfect plan, there's still like if you go to a new country, your plan frequently has to start all over. Like every time I go to a country that's not US, Mexico, or Canada, I have to get a new SIM because my Mexican plans don't cover that. And so I've got to go in the country to find a SIM card if I want data in that country. But I just bought a SIM that I bought a phone, but it only has space for only does eSIMs. It doesn't have physical SIM cards anymore. So if I go to a country where I can't find a eSIM, I either have to buy one of the ones online and then they're packed. I haven't heard great things about like the random you can use them everywhere eSIMs, or I'm stuck without data. I don't know. Phones are really hard as you're traveling. Shauna says she'd love to share her channels. She'd love to share her. Sorry, stay. I'd love to share my trials, but they are so few and trivial. We love trivial around here, girl. We love it. Oh no, not you, D. Another D. You let me meet another D because you're not here this weekend. So you let me meet another D, and so now who are you? There's a new D in town. Sandra fell in love with the city too soon. Sandra, why aren't you my guest on my show right now? Okay, let's see. I would assume not having helpful apps to help you navigate while traveling. That can be a mistake, especially if, like I said, if you land in a new country, you don't have data, and you need a specific app. Like during COVID, to get into Canada, you needed this Canadian app, which you've got to pull up on your phone when you get there. Fortunately, I think most of our international airports have free Wi-Fi, so you could do it. Free Wi-Fi in international airports will save the day. Will save you at least once. If you start like bopping around, traveling a lot, free airport Wi-Fi. You'll need it. All right. Let's see. What other mistakes have we made? Anybody? Bueller? No? Okay. Sandra fell in love with the place too soon. Oh. Sandra said once she sobers up. I shot you a message on Facebook, Sandra. In fact, let me do this. Since Sandra left, who was the queen of Playa del Carmen, left and went to Guadalajara. Nubia Net hasn't moved yet. Natalie Inspire says you may want to keep your home in the U.S. for the first year, just in case your dream job doesn't work out. I disagree with that. I think that a lot of times we hold on to things out of fear when if we let them go, we'll be better positioned to fly. Right? Like keeping a house that you don't plan on living in anymore, unless it was like your Pap's house, right? It's the house you grew up in. Okay. But like if it's a house you bought a couple years ago, is having it going to be an anchor, right? Because if it is, let it go. Being anchored. I'm a person who likes to be grounded. I have an apartment in Mexico City because I like having a place for me. If I was planning on traveling or moving abroad, again, I would get rid of this place and get another place where I'm going, right? Not getting Sandra says not getting rid of all of the stuff. Now I have to go back and deal with more cleanup. Yes. The storage, getting going through all of my things in storage kind of wrecked me emotionally. Like I thought I was okay. No. It was really, really hard, exhausting work to go through. And in the aftermath, it's kind of depressing. Because it wasn't just things, like, right? Like I found my preschool yearbook. And while I don't care about that, I'm also like, I'm throwing away something that has been in my mom's stuff and now my stuff since I was, I don't know, how old are people when they go to preschool? 2, 8? I don't know these numbers. Wait. No, because that would 6? 6? I don't know. Seriously. Somewhere between 2 and 6. I think like maybe 4. Yes. Preschool is 4. I'm truly just bullshitting right now. I have no idea. Anyway, I found my preschool little yearbook and like my first grade one, and I had to throw them away. And it sucks because that it yes, this is evidence of my life going back to my childhood, but there are so many pieces of evidence of our life like that that if you want to take it all with you, it's going to be, shipping containers and shipping containers of stuff. And so going through all of that stuff really, really took a toll on me that I wasn't expecting. That and my dog dying like the next week. Like, hello. I didn't share this here, but when I moved abroad, I had a dog that had been with me for 12 years when I decided to move abroad. And he went to live with a girlfriend of mine. And she had him for 5 years. And she brought him to see me while I was out there. And then a week later, she had to put him down. Like when I saw him, he wasn't in good health. And a week later, she put him down. Now he was 18. He was 1 when I got him. So he was 18. And he's a large dog. Some always between like 45 and 60 pounds. It's a large dog to live until 18. He had a great life. But yeah, I saw him and then and so I'm very glad I saw him. I've seen him twice since I left in 2018. But yeah, like he passed. And I was like I'm happy you're not suffering. But like mommy was already going through like a very, very rough emotional time. Like your timing wasn't great. Love you, doggy. Really love you, mean it. But like I was already spent emotionally from going making all of those thousands of decisions about like every photo. Like now, you know what I mean? Like you don't just throw away a box of photos, right? Like that's not something humans really do. So now instead of throwing away, I can't throw away a box of photos. I have to look through every single photo I had. And some of y'all are much younger than me. And digital photos didn't exist in that sense, right? Where like all our photos are on our phone until very recently in the history of mankind and in the history of Sheeta kind. So there were a lot of photos. There were a lot of printed out photos that I had to be like, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? What about this one? Yeah, that I'm talking to Sandra's point of like how hard it is to go back and clean up. Yeah, going back and doing all that stuff was really like it wasn't just the time or the effort. There was a lot of emotions that went into it. It was rough. And he died like the next week. Like, what are you doing? What is this? What's going on? Why would you do this to me? But he had a good life. All right. Hey Tony. In my Felicia says, do you regret not leaving the States sooner? No regret. No regret. The timing was what it was. I regret the year I spent back in the States after I left, but you know, shut up one day, couldn't walk the next. Had to have a surgery. So, and then COVID. Like these are unforeseeable circumstances. But yeah. the year I spent back in the States was not, wouldn't have been what I planned for myself. Let's see. Tony says that she decided to sell our house. It's our first home and not somewhere we'd want to settle anyway. Had to have a heart to heart with myself. My wife is like, sell everything. Yes. Sell everything. Sell, like, I think within the Black community, and I see it mostly on Twitter, so I'm gonna talk about like probably millennials, probably maybe some Gen Zers. I don't know. There's a lot of conversation about generational wealth and how like buying real estate is the focus of generational, like people who like aspire to generational wealth. And if it doesn't serve you today, why do you think it's going to serve your children later on? Right? If the house is an anchor for you and it doesn't give you wings, if it's an anchor for you in the life you want to live, are you once again putting aside your own happiness for someone else's future happiness that you have no control over? Right? Like, how many of us are in one way or another living our life for tomorrow? Ooh, that was one of the things that there's a lot of evidence of in my storage unit, of living life for like for tomorrow. Like all that champagne I had, why'd I have 50 bottles of champagne and wine? I'm not a collector. This was for kicking it, right, with my girls and hanging out. But apparently I didn't do enough of that, or I didn't do enough of, you know, opening a bottle to celebrate the fact that it's Tuesday. Because what was I going to do with all this? Why did I have this whole collection? What? There were a lot of moments like that where I found a candle that I was saving. One of the bottles of champagne that I actually brought back to Mexico, I've had for, I've owned it for more than half my life. I've owned that bottle of champagne for at least 22 years. What am I saving it for? Right? Like what am I found a candle that I've had just as long, but I was saving for like the right time in my home when I felt a certain way, right? There's a lot of artifacts of living for tomorrow that didn't get used tomorrow, so they got thrown away. Little segue. I would stop doing that today regardless of whether I was moving abroad or not. Use your good things, right? Spray the perfume, drink the champagne, burn the candles. Cuz when you don't and then you got to get rid of them, terrible. I didn't take digital. I took digital pics of most of my books, but not like of the boxes. I think there were not. I think there were like 13 big boxes of books. Yeah. Sandra says it took me an entire year to clean out my house. When I think of all the money I could have invested, nobody needs the amount of stuff we accumulate. Factual. Factual. Hmm. Auntie Lou's bringing her senior cat to Mexico. Yes, yes. All right. I I feel like some of y'all come here every week and don't know who I am. We are having a watch party. Brown Girl Trade 2, The Financially Fit, Black and Happy Expat, and Shauna M. They're all together. I'm guessing from this message. And they're all together in the city I'm in. And I don't know how long they've been together, but my phone didn't jingle jangle. My phone did not jingle jangle. They're all together right now in the same city I'm in. And then she talked about it online. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. All right. Aspen says she didn't even want kids. What's the generational wealth for? It's today wealth. It's today money. Today. Mm-mm. Felicia says she feels me on regretting coming back. Yeah. Okay. How long have I been in Mexico City? I moved here in 2009, there in 2019 in May. And between now and then, I spent a year in the US. But yeah, that's it. So almost 4 years since the move, but 3 years there. Ashley says, I know I need to hear this. If I sold my house, I could leave so much sooner. I'm holding on to it to pass it on to my kid. Okay. So I said earlier that if like you can't control someone's happiness, how many of us have been given things we did not want by our parents? And what they thought was a blessing to us feels a lot like an anchor. I'm not going to call it a curse, right? But like, did the kid tell you they want the house? How many of us get things and it's like, oh, like it's like playing the games playing on those game shows, right? Like you want a car, but now you got to pay the taxes on it. And every gift you give comes with some version of a tax, right? Like, and that may not be a financial tax, it may be more like a emotional tax or mental tax. Like if you give someone a blender, they've got to find room in their kitchen for it, right? They've got to feel, don't have to, but they may feel a certain way every time they see the blender, right? It may make them happy or it might not for whatever reason. Maybe they wanted to commit to a juicing lifestyle and then never did. See how I'm making up a story? Here we go. But you never know what you are giving to someone, right? Like you can give them an object, but you don't know what else is going to go with that object for them. Whether there's an actual cost involved or just a weight, and maybe it's a lightness, right? But if you don't know, you don't know. You might be hampering your life with the goal of giving the house to the kid, and then when the kid gets it, it hampers their life too. Maybe the kid would rather see you happy and abroad than getting a house. Maybe. All right. Tyra Hoyt says, I've been living a remote independent lifestyle since August 2018, learning so much about myself. I've been observing so much about others as well. I'm enjoying my life right here, right now. Yes. Did I drink the bottle of champagne? No. I've been saving that for 22 years. Why would I just drink it? Do not be me. Be better than me. I mean it. Um, uh, Stephanie said, "Why would y'all do that?" I was like, "What was I? What were they? What was I talking about when Stephanie said, why would y'all do that?" Oh, about them posting and hanging out and not hitting me up. Okay, you knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My phone ain't jingle jangle. Raquel is selling everything except my books and some clothing. Selling a beautiful home and investing my profits is what makes sense to me. Yes. Yes. Okay. I need to give y'all some context here. After the meetup yesterday, I invited all of these women into my home to hang out with me. The women that are together right now without me, I invited them all into my home yesterday. And yes, by my home, I do mean the hotel I'm staying in. I invited them. I know, not my hotel room, my home down by the beach bar. I invited them all into my home, tried to make them feel comfortable, hosted them in my home. And now they're being hosted somewhere else without me. You can't just, I just, woo! Mm, how thoughtful. How thoughtful of them. I'm gonna start blocking people. No, I did not find a new apartment with more space. I'm staying in my old apartment because I really hate moving. Because I really, really hate moving. I didn't even look for apartments. And the rent went up. It didn't go up so much that it was offensive. Although I haven't signed the lease yet. She emailed me today and I was like, I'm not in the mood. But I'll read it. Let's see. Sarita has 6 years before she leaves the country. Okay, I told my parents if I leave the house I'm renting now, I'm not living in it. And maybe that sets you up for a positive financial future. But a lot of what is being left behind often is not setting people up for good because, you know, either there's not, either there's no money in it, right? Because the bank, there's taxes, there's a thousand reasons a home, a tangible assets ish, is not something that you can just hand over to someone else and expect 100% gratitude all the time. I don't want to, like, I don't want a home personally. If someone tried to hand me a home right now, I might be like, let me do some calculations and get back to you before I touch those keys. Because homes come with work. And if it's a family home, oh, and there's more than one child, right? There's stuff there. There's stuff. There are other people there, humans. Whew. All right. Okay, so yes, my mom does that now, trying to gift me with things while I'm trying to part with things. Yep. Uh, Janae told her mom to stop bringing stuff she doesn't want to my house, and I have to be the one to get rid of it. Yeah. Because it's easy to think that anything you give someone is a gift without thinking that they're going to be the one who has to labor for that thing. And after storage unit, I know that everything you own has a price, but it's not the price you bought it for. The price I'll get to in a minute. And it requires labor. At some point, you're going to have to do something with that thing, right? You're going to have to store it or sell it or give it away. And giving away things can be challenging. I told you. Giving away stuff this last time was hard. And then like the cost, the money I lost on a bunch of on stuff, the cost of getting rid of stuff. Like the stuff we couldn't sell in the move out, we had to pay 1-800-JUNK to haul away. I I bought this because I liked it. I still like it, but I can't take it with me. But because no one will come get it, I have to pay someone to haul away my junk. Right. And it's a thing. You have to at some point do something with it, and it may cost you money. I'm not gonna say I'm a minimalist, but I'm rethinking maximalism some to some extent. Now, rethinking doesn't mean it's going away, right? Rethinking maximalism does not mean it's going away. I am on a low to no buy shopping adventure for this year. I'll talk about it probably this week or next week on my other YouTube channel, Roshida Dowe, Dough. I'm going to write that there. If you're not following me over there, follow that YouTube channel. It'll have some new content out soon. But yeah, everything comes with a cost, and it was not a low cost. Mm-mm. Alicia says, definitely selling the house. Everyone's asking me why not keep it and rent it out. It's just not me. I'm blessed to have a home, but it felt like an albatross when I signed for the mortgage. Yeah. Mm-mm. Pray, travel, eat, repeat says, I find when I'm outside of the U.S., I learn so much more about myself, and I can hear the voice of God more clearer. Okay. Mm-mm. Do I have any more TV cameras in my future? No. Nothing. Yes. Yes. I will be on your TV in the future. I just don't know if this is a short-term future or a long-term future. But you will see me on your TV again. I'm claiming it. Y'all gonna claim it for me. Thank you. Just don't know when. It's gonna happen. Okay. Yeah. Aspen Sears is talking about property taxes. Yes, property taxes. Mm-mm. Sharice is learning now that the things you own can own you. Yeah. Sharice and I have known each other for years. And when I was in the Bay Area, she was like, let me know if we can hang out. And when I went to the Bay Area, I did not see anybody who did not come to the house to help me. And it wasn't like I was like, come help me, and people didn't show up. It was like, people were like, when can I see you? And I'm like, you can come to the house. That's the only option. Everybody I saw was someone who came to the house. And then I came to an Exodus meetup because I felt like not coming while I was in town would have been dreadfully rude. If I can make it, I'm gonna make it. And that was like going to the Exodus meetup was the only time I did something that was not working through stuff. The stuff can own you. I thought I was going on vacation, and my stuff was like, absolutely not. You're making decisions till you cry. You're making decisions until you can't sleep at night. You're making all the hard decisions. Selfish. My stuff was very inconsiderate. All right. Martisha said 1-800-DRUNK was $690 for me. Yeah, my junk, it wasn't that much. And I feel like their fees are kind of scammy. Oh, that's a story for another day. But yeah, it was not cheap. Toshi says my parents sold our childhood home. My siblings were upset, but I understood. Yeah. If that money will help you today and it will give you more freedom today, right? Like you have to consider what you're sacrificing. And if other people, I know we don't sacrifice for what people, I don't want to explain this. Will people feel the benefit to the extent of your sacrifice, right? So if you have to work 3 more years and to keep the house and pass it down versus stopping now, getting some equity out the house and being about your business, will the people you pass it to feel the depth of that 3 extra work years that you did working? Or it's going to be like, thanks for the house, Uncle Joe. I'm going to sell it tomorrow. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there. All right. Tony Van Buren sold her first pair of heels on Facebook Marketplace, posting more things. Furniture soon. Yes. Yes. Mm. The funny thing is, one of the first things folks ask me is if I'm buying a house in Mexico City. I'm like, I'm always mad that I bought the one I have in the U.S. I'm trying to get away from this dream. Yes. Yes. It's also interesting because some towns just aren't buying property towns. Mexico City is not a buying a property town. You can do it, but people don't. Most people never do. Let's see. Bree says this is why I regularly declutter. Going through sentimental stuff during a move is so exhausting, and I've moved 4 times in the last 5 years. 4 times in 5 years, and I would be like, I live on the moving truck now. Just leave my shit in the truck. I live here now, and that's fine. And that's fine. I live in the moving truck now. That's it. That's it. Wouldn't y'all just live in the moving truck? Mm-mm. This is where I am now. That's it. That's it. All right. Vibracious Life with Lisa scheduled a move out date for my storage unit of 326 just to give myself an extra push to get it done. Yes. Yes. Felicia says her cousins sold her mother's house. Now they regret it because they could have lived in the house for free. We make the best decisions we can at the time, but a lot of what we think are the best decisions in America, we're so focused on like planning for the future and like delaying happiness and putting it off, that it's hard to think of a life where we don't do that, right? Like stopping work. If your house can help you stop work today and retire today, is it worth not doing that because someone might want the house later on? They might not. They might not. Mm-mm. They might not. Mm-mm. Let's see. Aspen Sierra says she's a former military brat and moving habit refuses to die. She moves literally every few years. Yeah. Janae says there's a frame of thought that you should pass down your wealth while you're alive and see how your descendants can use it now. Why help when they are older and frankly no longer need your help? So I think it's interesting, but I am kind of want to explore the idea of not passing things down and not in like a I'm going to spend it all, right? I'm spending it all. No, not like that. But with the idea that like if you have an unmet need, why are you saving things for other people? I know someone's going to be like, that's so selfish. We have to think about the future generations. I'm not saying your goal should be you don't help other people, especially other people in your family. I'm saying if you have unmet needs, why are you continuing to leave your needs unmet if you have a way of meeting them? There's a Black woman right now watching this who doesn't even recognize the sacrifices she's making for her family and how she could be living the life she wants to live right now if she made different choices. I'm just saying. The other choices are there. Mm-mm. Ooh. Sandra said her kids made it easy. Have y'all ever seen Sandra's kids? Have y'all ever seen Sandra's kids? Boy, I tell you. While they were in my home, the beach bar, last night, they started showing photos of their kids. Woo! They got some good looking kids, y'all. Like grown. These are grown people. These are. I'm not looking at children like that. I wasn't even really looking at them like that. Just acknowledging that they're like very good looking adults. Adults. I recognize it without context. That might have sounded weird. These are adult people we're talking about. The children are adults. All right. All right. Raquel says she was at Black Woman 5 minutes ago. Yeah, stop sacrificing for people when you have unmet needs now. Y'all gonna go to work tomorrow and talk to that man you do not want to talk to? So that in 20 years your kid can get the house mortgage free and then sell it and invest in crypto? Like, what are you doing? You're going back to work? Don't do that. Wait, I didn't go this far. I didn't go this far. Sandra's kids are good looking. Shauna's son is good looking. I was like, these are, you know, they're too young for my old eyes, but these are some good looking people. Hide your grown kids. I remember you being in the mix too, D. Let's not act like you weren't in there like, oh, oh. Yes. Mm-mm. Kay said she never wanted a home. I love the idea of being free to move if I want. Also, I've seen too many good neighborhoods change for the worse. Yes. Neighborhoods change. Neighborhoods change. Tyra says, I told them that I'm just leaving them insurance policies. That's how I'm helping them with generational wealth. Okay. Right? Like, I have money invested and I hardly ever touch it. Of course, the woman who had 50, who was not like a big wine drinker and had 50 bottles of champagne and wine. Of course, I don't touch what's in my investments. Of course, I don't. Because I'm saving them for that rainy day. And I thought the other day, like, I'm 43. I might live another 43 years, and it would be nice to have money in those years. But I might not, right? I might not. And so, why am I not using more of the resources that I have available to me today as opposed to saving for like the thing that may never happen? Because if something happens to me and this is it, like my nieces and my nephew get a nice little payday, but like I didn't work this hard for them to be like, she's gone. Oh, yeah, she left us money. Right? Like, I worked this hard to use my money. I worked as hard as I worked for me to use that money. Like, yes, I want them to be happy and taken care of. But I also want to buy things when I want to buy things. I also want to be in my new home for a week whenever I want to. Right? And so there's that like getting that balance between using the things you have and what you have access to and saving them for that rainy day because it might never rain or it might flood tomorrow. All right. Stephanie says it's hard to flip a switch. My mom is even like, I need to start spending some money. It is. It's hard. It's hard to flip a switch because we're told our whole lives that more is better, right? More in the US, more is better, more is better, more is better. And we're told that we have to plan for our rainy day. And yes, it's important. I'm not saying it's not. But like, when do you recognize this is enough? Today I'm living for today. Let's see. Sandra says the same thing. I had to give myself permission to start spending the money. Yeah, it's hard. My niece and nephew were raised to get the coins. I'm not worried about them. Yes. Like, it would be nice for me to leave you a little chunk of change. But, like, you don't need my money. You'll be fine. Let's see. Tara says, I don't. I won't be having kids. My nieces and nephews will have to take a financial coaching class before I get anything after I'm gone. Asher said it's so hard, especially when you've been living for your kids. I'm working on flipping the switch. Yes. The world is a rainy day every day. World War III is on our doorsteps. Enjoy your life now. I was just thinking, okay, so I think you guys have all heard Adelia say, or if you haven't, I know she said this on her channel. I'm pretty sure. If not, here's Adelia for you. She said when the zombies come, she's done. She's clocked out. She's not fighting, she's not training, she's not running, she's not hiding. Get me early. And it's funny, I saw some more black women talking about this online, saying like I'm not about to fight in like whatever World War III, aliens, zombies, whatever it is, like clock me out early. I won't be working this shift, right? So I'm hearing that more and more from women, and I'm hoping that, I mean, there's a morbid way to take that, like I'm giving up and dying, right? But there's also, I'm hoping that this is a trend towards black women saying like, I'm just done working. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, and not in like, okay, I'll just die instead kind of way. But you know, with zombies, you got to make a choice, right? You're fighting or you're not. Um, but very much the idea that they can say, I'm done laboring. I'm done laboring. And that by itself sounds nice. Getting eaten by zombies doesn't really sound nice. But you know, I'm I won't be doing that. It's one of my favorite. I saw a woman say that today in a tweet, and I was like, I love it. I love hearing women say, I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that. No, I won't be doing that. So, yes, to the zombies, I won't be doing that to the zombies. You got this. What is she talking about? What is my mama talking about? I'm here spending my children's inheritance. I know. She knows I know. Okay. I have access to her bank accounts. So, fun fact, when my dad was dying, he was married to a woman who had dementia. And she, even though there was a note on their bank account, someone had a power of attorney over her. There was a note on her bank account saying she's not allowed to get money out by herself because dementia. Her neighbors, her shiesty neighbors took her to the bank and cleared out the bank account because the bank didn't look at the note on the account. And no, they don't put the money back in if that happens. They don't. And but I know what's happening with my mom. I have access to her bank account so I can see what the numbers do, which if I was taking money out, like yay for me, right? Like if I was taking money out with consent, yay for me. Get access, I get some money, okay. But without consent, and this isn't, I don't want my mom to take this the wrong way. Love you. Because it's not like this right now. But that's labor, right? Like making sure that someone's not getting robbed by keeping an eye on their bank account is labor. And so even things that sound like a privilege, like she's given me access and transparency into her bank account. And no, mom, I'm not going in to check. I figure while you still know what my name is when I call, I don't have to check the bank account. When you start forgetting who I am, then I'm about to be like, boop, 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 what's happening? What's happening? But even that stuff is like there's labor involved. So seeing more women say like, no, I won't, that piece of labor over there, I won't be doing that. It's really refreshing. It is. Mm-hmm. Darrell said she made a deal with her niece to lace her Kool-Aid. I guess if the zombies come, yes. Yes. Auntie Lou says my niece is a high earning nurse and already travels. My nephew's a whole hustler. He'll never be broke. Whatever I have will go to them as a bonus. Yes. Yes. I'm a spiritualist says I'm a Gen X raised with a fear of nuclear war. I decided as a child that I want to be one of the first to die. I am not meant for no post-apocalyptical shit. I'm not, baby. I don't want to be like. I'm not gonna be like zombies. Just take me now. Like if there's a bomb, just you know, take me to the Lord. That's not me. I don't think. But I'm not like. I mean, there's no room service in this in this new land of ours. I gotta what? I gotta kill what I eat. Nah, baby, that's not. It's not for me. It's not for me. Mm-mm. Marticia is fighting. If it comes, she's fighting. Okay. Mm-mm. Woo! Count on Stephanie. Zombie just hang out with her friends and eat all day. Zombie me. Yes. Yes. I mean, besides not really being fully functional, it's a chill kind of lifestyle. It's a chill kind of life. Y'all talking about Casa Elm in the comments in San Miguel. Casa Elm is the place to stay. Mm. Okay, friends, we got totally off track. I would apologize, but no one is surprised. No one is surprised that we got off track today. But we did. So this started off about mistakes. Felicia was a great host while I was having some tech issues, and I continue to have some tech issues. And we will talk another day. Okay, so Anessa says, I don't know how a zombie would find me. Everybody at home claims to never know where I am. Because you ain't at home. Because you either in the streets internationally or you in the streets of your town. I see you at the balls and things. I see you. Anyway, wherever you are, go eat some king cake. If that's something that we're doing right now, I think it is. Live your best life. Don't choke on the baby. All right. Until next time, y'all. Bye.